Well, hello everyone, and good evening. Firefly Season 1, Episode 2, sort of. The Train Job first aired back in 2002, but here in 2026 on Live Long and Podcast, we're just getting started. Whether you're joining us live here on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or getting your audio versions wherever you get your podcasts, our mission to watch every episode of Firefly continues. One heist, one moral dilemma, and one crime lord you really don't want to disappoint at a time. This is your captain speaking, and unlike certain passengers on this train, I promise not to throw anyone off a cliff tonight. I'm your host, Dave Mader. We are talking about another episode of Firefly, of course, and we got a great panel to break down this episode. Coming in first, she's tuned into every emotional beat, every hidden detail, and every moment where the crew's conscience clashes with the job. When chaos hits the black and the story needs a steady hand, she's the one keeping us flying. It's Heather Narduzzi.
Hello, everybody. As you can see, we do not have Adam or Jody on the panel tonight, so I will be handling the facts.
The facts.
Only facts. Not sexy, not fun, just facts.
Got it. We wouldn't want to get too excited either way. Of course, joining us, he's tuned into every moral dilemma, the ethics of stealing from the sick, the weight of Mal's decision to return the medicine, and the crew's struggle between survival and doing what's right. When principle collides with profit, he's got thoughts. It's Kevin Millard.
Hi, guys. Just like usual, without Jody and Adam here, I will be doing nothing additional.
Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate those contributions. You're much like the preacher man or the priest guy. He's
That's
like,
right.
What do I do here? What's my job? Like, anyway. And also with us, of course, he's tracking the strategic fallout, the fault lines, the consequences of crossing Niska, the Alliance presence on the train, and the shifting loyalties that define life on the frontier. If there's a power shift brewing in the verse, he's already mapping it. Jeff Mader.
I'm like the guy that gets drugged in this episode. I want to be in charge, but I also don't want the responsibilities. And at the end, I come in and I save the day.
Well, that's good. That's a good, like you might be shooting for someone's head and hit them in the foot. It could work out that way. We are talking about the train job, which was kind of like it's kind of like the first episode. It was the first episode to air. But it's kind of like the second episode in the chronology, which is why we're doing it as the second podcast. It aired on September 20th, 2002. That was the premiere of the show. That's when the airwaves were introduced to it on Fox, some 24 years ago. This episode directed by Joss Whedon and written by Joss Whedon and Tim Minear. A lot to break down here. Crime lord Adelaide Niska hires the crew to rob a train of unspecified goods. The crew can transfer the goods to Serenity flying above, but Mal and Zoe are forced to stay behind on the train. They learn that they have stolen the medicine desperately needed from the locals. The crew argues whether they should deliver the goods to Niska or not, who, by the way, threatens to kill them if they don't follow through on their end of the contract. Ultimately, they decide to rescue Mal and Zoe through subterfuge, and then Mal just returns the medicine. Niska's thugs track them down, and after killing some of them and capturing the rest, Mal and Zoe take the medicine to those in need, and they refund Niska's money. And that is, there's more going on with some of the other secondary characters, including River. Right, River, who's played by Summer. River is got something going on in her head. There's these people that were trying to get to her. They messed with her somehow, and there's some kind of hidden thing. And by the end, like we find out there's some shifty-looking federal officers looking for her, which kind of leads into this next episode, which is called Bushwhacked. Anyway, let's just talk about this episode first. The train job. Heather, how's this going for you so far? Firefly.
I mean, I don't want to be super negative, so I will just say that it hasn't really grabbed me yet. And I watched this episode a few days ago, and I remember almost nothing of what happened. Like I had to read the Wikipedia article to remember what happened in the episode the other day. So I'm not super stoked about it.
Okay, not super stoked from Narduzzi. Over to Kevin. Kevin, how stoked?
I am the same amount of stoked as Heather. Like, I don't know. It's hard to. You don't want to shit on this show. So many people love it.
They love
so
it.
much, and I don't know. I'm having a real hard time paying attention to it. Like, you filled in some blanks for me in your synopsis, Dave. Like, I don't know.
Glad to be of help.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it's Jeff, do you want to add to that?
Can I? Yeah, I would say the show suffers for a few different things. Like one, like what is going on in this world? Where are we? What year is it? What is going on? Can you please explain? Like, not every scene needs to be like a witty one-liner about like how I got the one up on you in a bar fight or something. Like it's just too much. Explain to me what year is it?
The year is 2517.
Why is it Western? Why?
Yeah. Why is it?
That
Why
don't
do
know.
I feel like I'm watching Yellowstone? Like, like it's got a bit of that vibe to it where it's like, yeah, it's an old Western train gang, and you just don't mess with them because they're a bunch of rebels, and I don't know.
Like compared to Babylon 5, you're absolutely right, Jeff. Because Babylon 5, every episode starts off with the year is 2407. The place is Babylon 5. And then it goes 10 years after the Earth Memorial War. They set it all up for you, right? This show does not. So
like Star Trek doesn't set it all up for you but like they at least like when the show starts, they kind of like, here's what's going on. This is the name of the ship. This is where they are in the world, in this universe. There's this planet. There's that planet. They can go here. They can go there. This show, it's like, I don't even know. Like, it's just Star Wars does the same thing where it's just like they could be anywhere. It doesn't matter. Oh, but and then they're at this planet. You don't know this planet? It's like, no, I don't know that. What do you like?
You don't know?
Zero world building
Yeah.
and no explaining. Like, I have no idea who these people are and where they're supposed to be. And Jeff, I think you really verbalized something that I felt but didn't really have the right words to talk about it. You said not every scene needs to be like a one-liner. I really get that. Like, Fillion's character is so self-satisfied and so like so pleased with himself and how quippy he is.
Yes.
It's off-putting.
It's actually how I felt about Academy is the same way with like Star Trek Academy. It's the same way. It's like one-liner after one-liner after one-liner. And yeah, this show has that as well. Like, there's no like narrative going through it, really. It's just everybody trying to be the coolest kid on the playground.
This is the guy who made Avengers, Joss Whedon. And if you remember that first, or almost all the Avengers movies, really, that kind of set that template. But that first Avengers movie, it's a lot of quips from Iron Man to Captain America and Captain America to Iron Man and etc. Right? And that's just the style of this guy. Hey, Adam, we miss you here, and you, Mr. Firefly, wherever you are. You're a little sick. But
That's you, Jody, Mr. Firefly.
it's like
He
his
will
favorite
forever
nickname.
be known as Mr. Firefly.
But he's very reluctant to accept the title of Mr. Firefly, which makes me want to call him that even more.
And why? He's obviously the Firefly of all Fireflies. Like,
He
if
is,
there
that's
ever was.
correct.
No one ever Fireflied like Jody. I don't know what that
Last
means.
episode, he seemed to be the only one that really knew anything about this.
He's like, no, you don't understand. This is what happened. And we had Worldmind in the chat. He's maybe like the Dr. Firefly, we might call him.
Jody knew a lot, but he wished he didn't.
Yes. He was like,
That was
stop
the
asking
vibe
me
here.
questions. I don't know. I don't want to be the expert.
Yeah. It's like, I watched it a long time ago. I do, yes. It's all the information's in my brain, and I wish it wasn't.
Like, I'll just tell, like, for me, I think I'm enjoying it a little bit more than the rest of you. Although I wouldn't say it's like blowing me away. I would say that, like, I'm like, okay, you got this ragtag crew, and like, I like how they all work together, and there's specific skills they're bringing to it, and
But that's like such a common pitch for a show. A ragtag group bands together and they're all different and have their own role to play. Literally millions of shows.
Yes,
You
and
know?
it's very much a like a science fiction wagon train to the stars, if you will, sort of vibe here. Why like it's a little too Western for my taste sometimes. Like I'm like this is still the future.
The soundtrack over and over. It's like it's trying so hard to make it Western and like make it like a gun corral and like it's fun, but like it gets old. Like you get to the end of the episode, you're like, okay, so you're still doing this?
Still doing this, and they're all using revolvers and kind of old school guns, and like they all have holsters and they all dress like cowboys.
And there's horses.
There's often horses. So
space horses.
I don't know. Like I get like because you gotta remember like too like in the 20th century, like westerns were the thing, right? Like not our generation but like our parents and our grandparents. That was all they lived for was the western. And I get this idea of like, well, let's bring that back, but we'll modernize it, and that's kind of what also made Star Wars successful. I think Jeff's comparison to Star Wars is not off base here, that they're trying to go for a similar thing, but a TV version, like how can we do this sort of on a cheaper version with a sort of a Han Solo, a Kmart Han Solo. And I don't know if that makes Zoe Chewbacca, but like there's kind of like an interesting looking crew. And
I think Wash is more like the Chewbacca.
Wash is the Chewbacca. Yeah, you see he's actually flying the ship. I guess like Chewbacca's kind of split up into two characters, Wash and Zoe, in some ways. And this obviously has way more crew than the Millennium Falcon ever had, like, at any given time. But, you got the companion lady, who's maybe one of my favorite characters.
Inara is her
Inara,
name.
who played by
Marina
Baccarin from Deadpool and a lot of other things. And I think the cast is good. The writing I get is like kind of is not as good as the cast. Is kind of how I'm feeling about it.
Is this Joss Whedon's like first thing he did? Like
no, this is like the third.
Buffy.
Oh, he did Buffy, right? Yeah.
And Angel, and then this, right? And then he did this for a few years, and then he did some other show right before he did Avengers. Avengers was like his first movie that he really did.
Dollhouse with Eliza Dushku.
That was a show? Okay. So he was primarily just a TV guy until like he gets that like, and the thing a lot of people say about those MCU movies is that like they feel like TV in cinematic form, I guess, like in a cinematic presentation, but they're very episodic. They're introducing all these characters and how they how they're quipping with each other and how they they have their different stories that interweave and that kind of thing. And I don't know, I can see how this guy was kind of how he kicked that all off in like 2010 or whatever it was, when that movie comes out, right? But this is like 8 years before that, when he's still trying to make his version of either Star Wars or Star Trek or both.
He's kind of doing both, because the episodic nature of it is very Star Trek-y, but then the whole vibe of the show is very Star Wars-y. So he's trying to get both. It's like, hey, wouldn't it be great if we did a show where we got both Star Trek and Star Wars audiences at once? And I think that was the whole pitch, but it didn't land with either, and that's why it was a 1-season show.
Yeah, and with Kevin, like we went through that whole Enterprise rewatch podcast a couple of years ago, and that was airing around the same time as this. And so I have been kind of watching these first two episodes, kind of going like, how is this different than Enterprise? How is it the same? Like even just how this episode starts off in the bar, and that it felt very Enterprise-y to me. I don't know, like if you got that as well.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It is a lot like Enterprise in the attitudes of the characters. Like they're I don't know. Everybody's just got a chip on their shoulder.
Especially Jane.
Yeah. And that can get tiring.
Yes.
Pretty quickly.
And also I find it's very much like Enterprise in terms of how it views the women characters on the show. It's very like male gazy, and that's not unique to this show and Enterprise. Of course, it was it was the early 2000s. We didn't know.
We didn't know yet. We hadn't invented,
but we did know by then.
But we did know.
It's gross,
but we did.
Right?
But even when I remember watching Voyager in like the late 90s, and they bring in Seven of Nine, and I do love what they did with the Seven of Nine character. But she is very much like they admitted, like she's here for eye candy. She's here to like for the nerds to get all like excited about, and then if there's a great story, then great. But people are going to show up for the hot babe, is kind of like what the mentality is. And I don't know, like that's still a lot of the mentality in like movies and TV I think there is sadly some truth to it in the marketing and how like you get people to watch a show, but like it's also
it goes both ways. There are leading men, and then women want to watch. Like Nathan Fillion's a good example. A lot of women would want to watch, and Han Solo. Like a lot of these characters, like it attracts women audience members too. Like it does.
I disagree, because I feel that those type of characters are male fulfillment, like male inserts of who they look up to.
I agree.
It's more the men want to be him than the women want him.
I just know, like, for our mother, and David will agree with this, was a very big fan of Mr. Harrison Ford.
Absolutely.
And so every movie he was in, our mother loved Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Right.
And so like I do see the attraction, like the appeal of a leading man like a Nathan Fillion, where like Amanda loves the show. It's one of her favorite shows, and she watches every show with Nathan Fillion. Mm-hmm. She watches a FBI.
He's a draw.
The Rookie, and all the show. Yeah, he
sure.
is a draw. So like again, like it goes both ways. But yes, at the time they were definitely sex sells for sure, 100%.
You know who my mom's guy was? Jimmy Smits.
Really?
You know what I'm talking about?
He was also one of our mom's guys.
Yeah.
When he was on NYPD Blue.
Yes.
Mom had many guys. Like that she.
Mom had many guys.
She had her stories.
She had her stories.
Yeah.
Like her. Alec Baldwin. Oh, geez.
Listen, Alec Baldwin's my guy too.
Yeah.
Jack Donaghy, let's come get it.
Jack Ryan.
We got a comment here from Phoenix saying, if you want great female characters, all the best characters are the women in The Expanse. He's been trying to get us to watch this forever.
Yes.
I hear that's wonderful. And I kind of wish now that we've started Firefly, is it too late to change our minds and do The Expanse instead?
Well, for now, but like, it's all the good thing. The reason we partly chose to review Firefly was because it's only like the 14 episodes or whatever. We'll get through it pretty quickly and say we did it. But yeah, I think all these points are taken. Like this is what, like even if you look at a show like 90210 or something like that, like they're trying to pull in viewers based on who are like the beautiful Hollywood types. And Morena Baccarin.
I want to clarify. I don't think there's anything wrong with putting hot people on shows, because if you look back on all our podcasts, a lot of times I'm like, I love this episode. Everybody's so hot. It's the best.
Joel Kinnaman, you were saying last season. Even old Joel
Kinnaman's gorgeous. Like that's fine.
Especially when he's problematic.
Yes.
Especially if he's ripping phones off walls. That's when Narduzzi's here for him.
Let's move on.
Yes. Well, with that, we can jump into the plot of the episode and run through the screenshots. It's a pretty simple story. Now, as far as I understood, this was never even meant to be an episode. They filmed the original pilot, which was what we covered last week. Which they aired last. And then they wrote this one like in a night, and then they shot it really quickly, and this is what we got. So we start off here in a bar on some planet with a belly dancer running around the bar doing her performance, and then we run into our characters. We run into Nathan Fillion as Mal and Zoe we see the belly dancer also like passes like a note or money or something like that to him here in the exchange. And we're sitting at the bar with Mal, and Zoe is Jane. Now, and nothing's I'm looking at these both last week and this week as pilots, and there's not much to do to like set up who these characters are, why they're here, what they're doing. They're playing Chinese checkers. Is that the name of the game?
Yes. Adam says there was a plot.
Well, not much of one. They're looking for a job, I guess. The crew of the Serenity. as Zoe beats them at the Chinese checkers. But just then, there's some guy at the bar who wants to give a toast for Unity Day, which is basically commemorating the end of the war that took place like 6 years before the series, which is what we covered last week, which was, when I guess Nathan Fillion's Mal and Zoe, they were part of like the rebel group that tried to get their independence and they lost. So this guy is toasting to the victors, the oppressors, and Nathan or Mal does not like it so much. He gets up to go to the bar when they know there's trouble here, and he first seems to be ignoring the angry man at the bar, but then he's like, "Hey, you didn't cheers me before," and there's definitely some issues here, some problems, and he makes some insults about the people who fought for the independence, the brown coats as they were known, which is what Mal still wears, his brown coat from the war. And he's like, "You want to say that to my face?" Whatever it was he said. And then he says it to him. He's like, "What are you going to do about it?" He's like, "Nothing. I just wanted you to be distracted so Zoe could punch you." And then Zoe, that's what she does. They get into the bar fight here because I guess the rest of the crowd is not too happy that guy got punched. But he was kind of
a geisha.
I believe she is. Yes.
What kind of establishment is this? It's set in, and it's a Western, and there's belly dancing and geishas.
Yeah, and what's this thing called? A hookah? The thing you inhale from? And
yeah.
Oh yeah.
This place, they party in this bar.
It seems like a fun bar.
Yeah.
Maybe more fun than the Star Wars bar, perhaps. Anyway, but then the fight breaks out here as they are going to defend their fellow Unity guy. And I did like Jane saying, like, "I didn't fight it anymore. You could get yourself out of this this problem." But he gets he does little cheers, and then we get Mal being thrown through the fake window, which doesn't even break because it's got, I guess, like a holographic projection of a window.
And that's the best part of Westerns, and you take it away.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
Yeah, the one piece of technology they do have in this bar is a holographic window. The rest of it, forget it.
Oh my God. I wanted to say this at the top of the episode and I forgot, but this just, when you said the best part of the episode, I was going to say my favorite part of this episode is right before we went live, Dave on the podcast said, "The train job. Choo choo."
I was just trying to get everyone hyped.
It worked.
Yes. Anyway, so then Mal has to.
This part was very Star Trek-y when he whipped out like the.
He whipped out his communicator. He's like, "Hey," he calls the ship. He calls Wash, and he's like, "Come get us." And we get to see like the planets behind them, and we're reminded we're on a different planet because up to this point you could very much be left without that impression. And the fight kind of breaks out, comes outside here. Zoe and Mal are punching people, and Zoe's, I guess, getting more licks in, and Jane has joined the fight even though he wasn't really involved in it. And then they kind of get like backed onto this like cliff right outside the bar, and they're like, "Okay, maybe we can all chill out here and not worry about it." But this bar crowd, they're not having it. They're ready to commit a murder.
Can you go back a couple of screenshots just to show the two shot of them?
This one?
That one. Sorry, it was three of them. That's really cool. I like. That's a very classic like cinematic
Western kind of look.
Yeah. That looks cool.
High noon, get the shadow.
Anyway, so the bald guy from the bar, he's ready to like shoot them in the face over all this, but they say, "Why don't you just hold it right there, sir?" And just then their ship flies up from behind them and saves them. Now we see the Firefly, the Serenity. I always want to call it the Firefly, but it's not actually the name of the ship, is it?
It's the class of ship?
It's the class.
Yeah.
It's Firefly class. Yeah. And they are able to get away in the nick of time here, hopping aboard their little ramp, and Mal gives them this little wave goodbye with a lot of thing, and then they come on in, and then we get to see that one. What's her name? Kaylee. And and then we got Wash here, and so remembering that this is again like another pilot, another introduction of all these characters for the first time, so that's all kind of happening again here in some ways. But they're doing in both cases. It's very like a matter of fact. Like it's they know each other. So they leave the planet and they head to their next gig, whatever I guess that lead was. And we get our title sequence, which we covered last episode, which is not that great. Definitely a skipper. And then coming off of after the credit sequence, we catch up now. We see River. And she's dealing with her having escaped the evil alliance, I guess, is who did this to her. And we see the scientist doing probes on her. She's got like kind of like that whole like Logan and X-Men thing where like they did something to me, they programmed me, and they turned me into Weapon X and something along those lines. And she's having a bit of a meltdown here. She's now of course here with her brother, the doctor. Like this episode would make no sense if you had not watched the previous setup. I think like they're like, okay, we got a doctor and a sister who's dealing with some issues, and they kind of have to establish a little bit of that here. Like, we're on the ship now and I'm working as a doctor and we couldn't go home, remember? And River is kind of sometimes lucid and other times she's a little bit less so. Then Mal shows up for some medical treatment, and because he had to punch with his hand closed, which apparently is a bad idea. It's how you break your hand. But Mal said he has some line about it always being a lot of fun. Anyway, then Mal ends up leaving the medical bay. He runs into Shepherd, the preacher man, who is asking him about the sister and the doctor brother and why he brought them here to the ship and why is he such a great, nice guy after all. And he is, he's it's not for God. I don't do it for God, says Mal. As they head up here, then Mal tries to go look for Kaylee in the engine room, but it's all been patched together and cross-circuited here, one of Scotty's deals. So then Mal has to go find Kaylee, the mechanic of the ship, who is getting her hair done with Inara in the shuttle. And like this would be the first introduction of Inara for the TV audience back 24 years ago, and a little bit with Kaylee. And we all, what do we take from this conversation? Kaylee maybe has a crush on the doctor. Is that what? Yep. That was the main thing I took away from it. And the fact that Kaylee and Inara are friends, I guess is the
we do brush each other's hair all the time.
Even the male clients asks Inara, or no, that's Kaylee asks Inara, and she's like, she tells us a little bit about being a companion, and there's a guild, and they have choice involved, and all these other things. It's a much more.
Yeah, but then Mal's like, yeah, but you always choose the one with the big bank account.
Yeah, but Mal's never. He's not a big fan of the companions.
No,
or their guild for that matter.
He's a thief.
Right. There's no honor among thieves.
Choose the one with the big bank account. Yeah, obviously, it's my job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he states the obvious clients a lot in this show.
Like, you always choose to collect a paycheck at the end of your workday? God.
Yeah. You try to make as much money as possible? How could you?
Yeah, wouldn't you only thieve what you need?
Yeah.
Thieve a little bit more.
only what he needs, no more.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then Kaylee, he's here to get Kaylee to go fix something with the engine. So then it's just Inara and Mal talking here, and he's like, I don't know if you should come on this next mission with me. You could get hurt. And I never understand, are they flirting, Mal and Inara? Or is Mal flirting with her and she's having none of it? I'm confused on what their chemistry is meant to be.
Well, he calls her a whore 3 times in the first episode we watched.
But not in this episode.
No, he just critiques her.
That he does. Well, I don't know. I get some kind of attraction from his side, not from hers, but Anyway, or protectiveness, I guess is better to say. Like,
I mean, you can tell from the previous episode that they have history because there's a lot of like long, meaningful looks, but it's not as clear it's not clear then what that history is, and it's even less clear in this episode.
Yeah, I'm still not. I guess we'll find out as we run through this.
Or not.
I can't wait.
Can't wait. It's the best. Then we head over to some Alliance outpost who are or this is the space station. I'm sorry. This is the space station, I guess, that Niska lives on. So Mal and Zoe and Jane are here to meet with Niska along with his henchman Tattoo Face. He was trying to out Chakotay, and I think he won. Anyway, they come in here. The scary Tattoo Face guy works for Niska, a very German villain. Which I didn't mind this performance. I thought it was a little muted, but he's like, I want to hire you to steal some cargo. Do you want to know what it is? And they're like, no, we never ask. But then once we find out, we often change our minds. We should probably tell you that part before you hire us.
Jim says the excitement in the room is as hot as tepid water.
You could tell. Like anyway, and then we find out that the last guy that Niska hired disappointed him, and I guess he killed him and stabbed him and hung him upside down a bunch of times, or I'm not sure what order it was done in.
And is also his nephew.
His wife's nephew. His nephew, he's like, I guess I'll have to argue with her at dinner about that.
So this actor, I was like, I know this actor. Where do I know him from? And you know where I knew him from?
What's that?
He played Adlai Stevens in 13 Days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where I knew him from. I'm like, oh.
You know who he looks like here? Christopher Lloyd as the evil guy in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That's what I thought. I was like, I know this actor. I know him. Like,
because he's not a German at all. He's an American actor.
And he's great. And he I think he would have done 13 Days. Like
13 Days was 2 years before this.
Yeah, so it's around the same time. So
yeah. But he's a big, scary gangster, and like, don't mess with him, or do the job and you'll be fine. But otherwise, you won't be doing so well. So Mal agrees to take this job from the scary guy, who's got a cool looking lamp. He says you got to go to the train and get the cargo, and then you're going to bring it to this other place and deliver it here, and then we'll pay you the other half of the money. It's pretty simple. And then, or we'll kill you if you don't follow through. Then we have the train itself, as we kind of have a time jump here, and we have Mal and Zoe on the train as passengers, who are, they're as part of this plan to steal the cargo. They get to the one car, and guess who's there, guys? A bunch of Starship Troopers.
Yeah, did they literally raid their costume department? Because
I think they literally did.
This as a fun fact, the battle gear from the film Starship Troopers was later reused in this episode.
It's hard to miss, although they've made it somehow. They've worsened it by painting it this purple. It looks so weird. What did you do to these great costumes? I just thought it looks.
We can't do it because it's an IP issue, so we got to make it worse.
But it's
I got some purple paint.
That was a big movie, and that movie came out 7 years before this or something?
97, 98, yeah. Probably.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was like, oh my God, you guys really were, trying to cut costs.
This episode came out in 2002, so it's 5 years after Starship Troopers.
But I think Starship Troopers was a more successful movie than this was a show. So this is just coming through here. Anyway, so the big moment, other than them seeing the Starship Troopers costumes, is that, hey, there's a bunch of cops here. There's a bunch of not just cops, I guess soldiers here, which is complicating their plan to steal from it. Meanwhile, on the Serenity, we have a scene here with Andara, is that her name? Andara? Inara. And Shepard, the preacher, and how they're off stealing right now. They're off stealing, and how Shepard wishes he could do more to contribute, but not actually thieving. He would just, and Inara suggests he prays for Mal. and she kind of says she hopes that they come back alive every time. And we find out she's been here for a couple of months, up until this point too. Is there anything else with this scene that you guys wanted to kind of comment on? Shepard and Inara? No. Okay, moving on.
Not really. He was basically just complaining about like how he's like, I wish I was, could be helpful, but I am on a ship filled with thieves and I don't like thieving.
Yeah.
That was basically the gist of the scene.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
I wonder
Inara's
if
like,
he's going to do nothing through the whole entire
Yeah.
series.
Is he just going to be like the discount Morgan Freeman and just be like, I wish I could help, but
like maybe he's gonna have like a service on Sunday or something every week, or he's there for the last rites kind of stuff. I don't know what else priests do, but he's not got a lot to do. Anyway, back to
He's
Mal.
there to disapprove of everybody, the whores and thieves. He doesn't like any of them.
Well, he likes them more than Mal does. Anyway, so then we go back to the train, and there's the soldiers still staring at Mal and Zoe, but they see some other passengers come from the other side, and that kind of kills the tension, and they walk past them. And then Mal and Zoe have a moment here to talk, like, should we call off this heist? Because of all the soldiers, and Mal's less worried about it because they're not like guarding the cargo actively. So what could be the problem here? So they move there and down the train. Meanwhile, the train is moving. It wasn't like an old timey Western train. It is like a super high speed, fast train. We get to see it a little bit better from this exterior shot. That's being tracked by the Serenity. And I'm like, wouldn't the train have like sensors or just people looking at windows maybe to know that they're being followed by the ship that may be up to no good?
Guess not.
I'm okay. They're not too worried about it. Meanwhile, back on the Serenity, we got Kaylee and the Doctor Man talking, and she's like, "Yeah, we're getting ready to steal a bunch of stuff in the thieving, but it's fine. It will be cool." I do like Kaylee's energy on the ship. She's very positive. Seems like she'd be a fun time to be around. And I don't know if this is flirting with the Doctor, but he's like, they're just having a little conversing here. But then Jane shows up and he buzz kills everything. And he's like, this stupid doctor is always getting in the way, and you're not part of the crew, and you're a jerk, and your sister's really weird, and I don't like her. And the sister's like literally out in the upper deck of the cargo bay here listening to everything, and it's not going over super well. As Jane gets hooked up to like the tether so he can drop down onto the train and then help get this heist going here. I guess we're not meant to like Jane.
No, yeah, he's the first character that I'm gonna say I hope he dies. Like I can't stand
Me too. Yeah, he sucks.
He doesn't have any redeeming qualities so far.
No.
Yeah. Okay, then we go back to Mal and Zoe, who use their key cards to access the cargo hold. They managed to put like a little smoke diversion thing in the door in case the soldiers come, and then they're going through the cargo and unscrewing the ceiling of the train. They find the cargo, and the Serenity then comes down, and we see Jane jumps onto the moving train while got Wash flying it. And I don't know, everything's kind of going to plan but then a soldier and a Starship Trooper someone hears something, and he needs to come down. So they got Jane in here. They're starting to pull the cargo out, and just as they're getting ready to pull things up, the soldier guy shows up, and he triggers the smoke grenade. And then he starts firing indiscriminately into the crowd here, but he never gets quite a good look at their faces. But Jane gets shot in the leg, I believe. And he calls to be, airlifted out right away, leaving Mal and Zoe kind of trapped on the train. I guess they could have tried to grab onto the cargo here, but they don't. And they need to get away quickly. Meanwhile, we see Mal and Zoe, then they throw like these flame things to create more smoke so that they can kind of work their way back inside with all the passengers, and kind of, nobody will know it was directly them involved. as Jane gets pulled up. Jane's still alive. Shot in the leg. Good thing they have a doctor to help him out. The train is then stopped at the next station, and all the passengers are brought off board because they're all being like questioned by the authorities on what happened here in this one-horse town out here. This is, I think, where Mal and Zoe start to realize that they're stealing from just, innocent civilians, and that this is maybe just a kind of a small town and not really bad. We see that there's this sheriff guy who we'll get to know in the episode. He seems like, pretty nice guy, all things considered. And Mal's having some second thoughts about this job. Meanwhile, up on the Alliance cruiser out in outer space, we run into the Imperial Death Star crew, B tier, who are here to look into what's been happening with this train job. There was a train thing, sir, and they tried to steal some cargo. And I can't remember, this subordinate has something to say, but he doesn't care. And basically, this is just setting up the next episode so that we can get these other two agents involved. Meanwhile, we got the Serenity that is now landed at the rendezvous point in the valley. Jane is getting patched up by the doctor, and he wants to leave. He feels like they've been pinched. We got to get out of here before they catch up to us and get us. And Jane apparently is in the chain of command. He's third in command somehow. This seems irresponsible on the side of Mal in particular for allowing this to be the case.
Well, he straight up said, "I will betray you for enough money." Like, he told him that to his face.
It seems like Wash would be the logical choice to be third in command here, considering he's the pilot of the ship. He's pretty much always going to be here. But hey, who am I to argue with Mal's logic? So, Jane, very belligerent. He's willing to cut them out there. Then River starts talking and being all weird, and Jane doesn't like it. Shut up, River. Yeah, crazy lady. But she might be onto something. And this is where the doctor then doses Jane, right? Gives him the sedative under the pretense of it being for something else. And then the preacher man, he has some one-liner here, I forget, but he says something just as the scene ends that pulls us back into where Mal and Zoe are being detained by the sheriff. And he's interviewing different people. Mal and Zoe are under the pretense of being a married couple. And then they get their interrogation or interview from the sheriff, and they claim that their tickets were bought by their uncle not for a honeymoon, but so they could find work in the mines. And we also find out that everybody who lives on this planet, has some kind of respiratory disease from working in the mines. Even the people who didn't work in the mines have it. And it's manageable as long as they have this medicine, which the Serenity just stole. So Mal's not feeling too good about his role in all this. We even see that this sheriff man even lets his prisoners have a little bit of a drag of his cigarette. I thought that was nice of him. But he's like, if I ever find out who stole these medical supplies, there will be no simple detention. Oh no, we're going to have some frontier justice here. Watch out. I'm putting words in his mouth, but that's kind of what I took from it. Anything else I'm forgetting here, people, before we move on? No, I guess that's it. Back to the ship. Okay, then Jane is like, he's ready to leave. He's like, we're leaving right now, everyone. And he starts ordering Wash to go, but Wash and Kaylee and the rest are like, no, we can't abandon our friends.
Jim says, I keep forgetting the sheriff was the pervy gangster from Payback.
Oh, that's where he's from.
Yeah, I knew he looked familiar.
Yeah. And just then Jane is trying to give an order. He's like, the chain of command, and I'm ordering us to leave. But then he starts talking gibberish, basically, and like talking all strange like. And then they're like, what's that? And then he collapses because he's been dosed by the doctor. And he is down for the count.
I did like Simon's line here where he was just like, I was just uncomfortable with him being in charge.
So were we all.
Yeah.
So he's out for the count, and I guess this leaves, I'm not sure who in charge, but not Jane any longer. So then is it Anara who comes up with the plan? Like, I'm going to go in there and try to like talk them out of it, basically. I don't know whose idea it is. Maybe it's the preacher's idea. Maybe that's how he makes himself useful.
Come on, Buff. Do something.
Yeah. But then Anara comes in to the place where, Mal and Zoe are, and she slaps Mal across the face because she's making up the story about him being her indentured servant and owing her years left on the service. And there's kind of like this celebrity effect for Anara being a companion and I guess being a very good looking person, and everyone else in the crowd sort of reacting to her. But she's able to kind of talk out like, he's my guy, and he made up a story, but it is made up, but she also makes up another fake story for him, and she basically gets Mal and Zoe released here. Long story short, and gets them out of there. And then even the sheriff here, he's just like, "Did you check their paperwork? I checked it twice, sir. It was all good." So, good use. They get back to the ship. Thanks to Mal and the crew saving their butts, and there's a bit of a happy moment here with Zoe and Wash.
Adam says also Peter Quill's grandpa in Guardians. I presume he means the sheriff. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, right. He is that guy too. And Jane is not completely passed out. He's kind of a little loopy up on the upper decks of the cargo bay here as the things are going on. He looks like he's got like too much Novocaine in his face or something like that.
And they get back, and Kaylee says to him, "Oh, we were going to bring him to the infirmary, but he's heavy."
He's heavy, yeah. It's not a bad line. Just then, the crew of the Serenity is confronted by Tattoo Face Man, who is not happy about what's been going on here. This is where, I think Zoe and Mal have announced their intention to give back the cargo, give back the money, and forget about this job altogether. But Tattoo Face and his thugs have showed up. And
go back one.
You want to see them?
This one. He looks like he's about to walk into the ring at WrestleMania. But
he's dressed like a wrestler. He acts like a wrestler. I'm pretty sure he is a wrestler. But I don't recognize him.
World says, "I love this part."
Loves this part. Okay. Anyway, so the Tattoo Face Man, he's pissed off. He wants to finish the transaction, but Mal doesn't. He wants to refund him the money, and it leads to a fight. And the Tattoo Face guy throws a knife right into Mal's chest, which was, dramatic opening to the fight. Then bullets are flying and people are shooting everywhere. And I don't know. It's always hard to get these fights in screenshots, but no one really gets killed here, which is kind of amazing. It's mostly the fight between Mal and this other guy, the tattoo guy. Then one of the other guys gets hit by, who's driving that? Wash, I think, driving the little dune buggy thing and whatever else. And just as Tattoo Face is about to maybe kill Mal, that guy Tattoo Face gets discount Triple H.
Discount Triple H.
Yeah, he's like Kmart Triple H. And he gets shot in the leg by Jane, who said he was actually trying to shoot him in the head. So it was kind of a whole thing. Kind of a funny line. Then sometime later, Mal and Zoe decide that they're going to return the medical supplies. So they drive up here in their little vehicle, and they were planning to drag it the rest of the way. But the sheriff man, he knew this was going to happen. He knew something was fishy here, and he gets the ambush here on Mal, and they take back the medical supplies. And we see this flag, which is kind of like this Chinese American hybrid flag, which I guess is like what established the alliance or the colonies back whenever anyway. So anyway, but the sheriff's like, "It's cool. You did the right thing, so I'm going to let you go," basically. And that's what happens. Pretty simple. Then we come back here to Mal and the tattoo guy who's now been tied up, and he's like, "Hey, listen, here's the deal. I'm going to give you back your boss's money, and you can, leave us alone, right? And the tattoo guy, he was having none of it. He's like, we will find you. We will take you wherever you are. We will carve you up and everything else. And then Mal's like, well, I guess this isn't going to work. So he just kicks the guy into the engine turbine and kills him. And then he goes, okay, bring over the next guy.
Yeah, he was like, damn, I didn't want to do this.
Yeah, he was like, oh yeah. Mal was like, oh, all right,
making me do this. Huh.
Making me do this. Boom, kicks him and throws him into the turbine. And then the next guy is much more agreeable to make the deal. He's like, oh yeah, sure. We'll never track you down. We'll never come after you. No problem. You got it, sir. So
I did like that too.
It was kind of funny.
Inglourious Bastards did this scene almost exactly the same.
They did, but this came before. Yeah. So did Inglourious Bastards rip off Firefly is now the question. Anyway, so then the Firefly, the Serenity, it flies away here from the planet. It heads out. We get one of the last scenes here is between Simon stitching up Mal from the fight earlier. I think they're talking a little bit about the sister. And then we see the sister in her quarters, kind of, still tortured and troubled by her, whatever ever happened to her, which leads us back to
she's muttering like to herself over and over, hands of blue, hands of blue, 2 by 2 hands of blue. That's what it was.
Thank you for picking up that fact, Narduzzi. So then we meet these two other agent guys, I guess, and they're looking for River. He's like, you're talking about the people who stole some medical supplies from the train. They're like, forget the medical supplies. This guy was creepy. He looked like you don't want this guy coming after you. I can tell you that much. And then we had this guy. This guy very familiar. I think I know him from something. Can't quite place it. But this seems to be the leading to the next episode. We'll find out who's after River and why, maybe.
And they have hands of blue hands.
Oh, they do. Oh, they do. I wasn't even picking up. So that their whole thing is that they don't have human hands?
I don't know, Dave.
Oh yeah, they do. They're wearing like these gloves or
symbolism. Get on board. It's part of the world building.
Is it symbolism if it's literally blue hands 2 by 2?
That's how good the writing on this show is.
All right. And that is thanks Joss Whedon.
We ran out of black latex gloves at the office.
Yeah, there was a budget. We spent all the budget on the Super Troopers outfits.
Yeah. Okay, are we ready for facts?
I'm ready.
Not sexy nor fun. Here are some facts.
Just facts. Just facts. Straight facts. No frills.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So, here are the facts. The 2 hour Serenity, which is what we watched. No, sorry. Yeah, that's the first one that we watched, right? That episode was called Serenity. Okay. The 2 hour Serenity was originally intended as the pilot for the show. The Fox network. Wait. Worldmind says neutral zone fact with Narduzzi. Okay, so the Fox network, however, decided not to air it as they wanted a pilot with a more action-packed feel to it. With exactly 1 weekend to write a new pilot, executive producers Joss Whedon and Tim Minear wrote The Train Job, which appeared first on the show. A slightly retooled version of Serenity was later shown as an origin story after Firefly had been canceled.
So the episode we watched, they only showed us that because it was canceled already, basically.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Joss Whedon planned to have Mal keep the cargo from the train to show that Mal puts the needs of his crew above the needs of others. However, executives at Fox told Joss to have Mal return the cargo to the townfolk in order to make Mal more likable to the audience. Well, it didn't work.
No. Like, I don't know. I guess like if he hadn't given it back, he would have been much more of a criminal. So
yes.
Like I guess it was like a good move because because he's meant to be something of a rogue, but not a complete scumbag, is he? Or maybe he is. Guess we'll find out.
I think his profession is, like that's the scumbaggery. But like in this episode, they try to portray him like, oh no, he'll do the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already gave my fact about recycling the Starship Troopers uniforms.
Yes.
So
that was just sad.
Yeah, they painted them purple.
That's not right.
Now, so I have one more, not counting the pilot episode where she's barefoot due to not gaining shoes yet. This is the first episode to establish River's preference for going barefoot, as halfway through, River takes off her boots and goes barefoot the rest of the episode. This was requested by River's actress, Summer Glau, as she found being barefoot helped with getting into character as River. This trait reoccurs over the course of the series and the movie.
Okay.
This has been Facts. With
not super fun, but like it's just facts, no frills. I get it.
All facts, no frills.
Is that it? Is there anything else to say?
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay. Well, thank you, Narduzzi.
You are most welcome.
I appreciate it. I swear I thought I saw the true pilot before the train job. Maybe it's the Macabre. My brain not working right, says Jim the Casual. Okay, Jared Leto. All right. Well, let's get into ratings because I think we're dying to give a pretty stellar score. We'll catch up with Mr. Firefly next week, but it's the train job, everyone. No Jody, no Adam tonight. I can go first if we'd like. I don't know, it's like 6.5 for me. How about you, Kevin?
Like a 5.
5 from Kevin or Narduzzi?
3. I liked it a little better than last week, I guess.
I don't know, 4.5.
4.5 from well, big scores here from the crowd.
Jim gives it a 7. I love heists, like as a genre.
Me too.
I love heists, and this was
subpar.
Yeah,
okay.
Like it's okay. Like I liked it okay, but like not great. This has so we're averaging a 4.8. This has an 8.3 on IMDb. So we are wrong, everyone. Just so you know. This is a very good episode, and we're a bunch of idiots, quite frankly.
No, it's not a good show.
Well,
like,
mine
so
gives
far.
it a 6.5.
So he's matching my score. So, but maybe it's the best is yet to come. You know,
I hope so.
I mean,
Me too.
It could go down. I guess it could give it a 0 or a 1. I mean,
yeah, ever the optimist.
Right? But
I mean, it's bad, but it could get worse.
It can always get worse. Everyone, you know, like
yes. Jim says wrong is relative. Like what you like. And I would like to say, I do, as Jeff said at the top of the episode, I feel bad for being so negative about this show because so many people love it. And like it is truly beloved. And I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. It's just not hitting for me. So it's not that it's bad. It's just I think it's bad, which means it's bad.
Right, of course.
My issue with it is it's just very unoriginal.
Yeah.
It's I think that's the main thing that I keep coming back to. I'm like, this is just like a retread of like Star Wars, Star Trek, every Western you've ever seen, every cop show, every thief show you've ever seen. Like there's nothing really like new and exciting about this show. It's just like Joss Whedon got to like have a show and he's like, ooh, what can I do? I guess I'll do this, and like there's some like good, like there's some good actors on the show. That's probably the most redeemable part of the show is that they have a pretty darn good cast. Other than that, the writing is just it doesn't go anywhere. There's no world building. There's nothing. There's just nothing.
Yeah.
They have a cool ship, I guess, that looks really weird. It looks like a giant rock.
Do they have a cool ship? It's not even a cool ship.
Yeah, it's not even cool. I don't understand.
It's not good costumes.
It's not aerodynamic.
And get some good costumes, but that's it.
it's it's okay. I don't hate it. I don't love it either as a ship, but I like the crew. I do like the crew. I think that's my favorite part of it. Like it's got an interesting cast and like, but it's also like, is it super original? No. I Jeff, you're from the peak TV era, right? You came later. You came during The Sopranos and all these great shows.
I never watched The Sopranos when it was on. I watched it later.
But like these shows, but like network shows used to just be like, let's just put something out there and like, this is good enough, right? And I think from that, if you look at it through that lens, I think it's okay. Like, if you try to compare it to like The Expanse or something.
This is the sitcom version of like a Star Trek, or a Star Wars. It's like a very it's like a procedural cop show. This is what this is. This is like a precursor to CSI, and like this is the vibe I get from this show.
Coming to us live from his car. It's at
Pulled over.
Did you pull over to hate on Firefly, or are you mad because I'm coming for your gig with my facts?
Well, they were neither sexy or fun, so I appreciate that.
They were straight.
But I gotta say something. Anything with Star Trek Troopers made it a little better.
So you want to give this a big 8, Adam?
Oh God, no. Am I going?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh, well, listen, here's my thoughts on this show. First of all, we've invested like 3 hours into this thing now, right?
Yeah, roughly.
Like it has done nothing to get my interest. Like Dave, you told me more than I captured the other night watching it. And then I was backing it up because I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. I lost interest. Like this show is something else. Even my hate on other shows, like not even my hate, but my dislike for All Mankind in this last season was like, you know what? We spent a lot of time in this show, and there was some good things, but this has not got me at all. So I mean, I committed to being here, and I will continue. But so far, this is a big egg for me. So 0.
A zero.
Everybody's stealing my gig over here.
Wow. Well, that pulls down the collective rating tonight to a 3.8, which is the inverse.
Is the opposite of 8.3 on IMDb. Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah, and we're talking like 6,200 people voted and averaged 8.3.
So here's another thing.
There's got to be one person like 6,200 times, like you and your Babylon 5.
They're all Joss Whedon and all his like family members, but
no. Like I think it's like more like Mr. Firefly here in our group, because like I think Jody, and I with all due respect to Jody, promised more than this show has offered so far.
He's just dying.
Jim the Casual says, you pulled over to give it a 0? Damn, dog.
and here's another thing. World Mind, like he's like I guess he loves this show because man, he's talking it up like crazy.
He gave it a 6.5, which for World Mind is like a 10 plus.
Oh, is it?
Oh, he's a harsh marker.
He's not the highest marker, I would say. Like we'll watch like a TNG episode and we're all like 9, 8, and he's like 5.5. I guess it's pretty good.
That's a pretty good World Mind impression.
Yeah, that's how I go. So anyway, okay, so 3.8. Thank you, Adam.
Okay, I'll see you guys. Thanks.
See you later, Adam. Okay, bye. Looking ahead to the next episode, which we are.
What will it be?
We are completists here. We will finish the review. It is called Bushwhacked.
Great.
So in this one, the crew of the Serenity comes across a transport ship drifting in space. After recovering a terrified survivor and a valuable cargo, they are pulled in by an Alliance cruiser. While the Alliance commander grills each member of the crew, it appears that Reaver-spawned violence has not yet run its course. I don't know what that means, but...
it means somebody's going to get raped, I'm sure.
To death?
Yes, because that's what the Reavers do, how they graphically explained it in the very first episode. Remember that?
How could I forget? So it was for a network show. It was quite the statement.
It was the 2000s. They didn't know.
Yet.
They didn't know that. We knew. We might have known.
Oz was on HBO at this time.
Yeah, we got to keep up with Oz. So that's the you go there. Oh yeah, damn dog. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about something a little more fun. This week we will be on for Star Trek: The Next Generation on Thursday to cover the final episode with Will Wheaton as a main cast member. It's called Final Mission, season 4, episode 9. Look out for that.
He comes back. Does he come back after this episode?
He comes back a couple times, like like that first duty where the whole thing with the Culvert starburst and him.
That's a good one.
That comes after
this. It's a
this.
good episode too. Final Mission.
But yeah, Will Wheaton does leave the show at this point in the middle of season 4.
Has the episode happened when he's with Tom Paris?
No, that hasn't happened yet. So that's like next season when he's like he becomes like a recurring character basically.
It's the only good episode for me with Crusher, like where it's.
What about the game with him and Ashley Judd and they're trying?
Oh, that one's okay. Yeah, that one's okay. Yeah, but yeah. Early on, he doesn't really have any main stories. He's just there.
Maybe there will actually be Smiles next show.
He has the dolphin. Remember where he dates the furry monster princess?
No, that we already covered that one. But yeah.
Now I'm going to be on the first Final Mission panel, and we'll talk more about it then. But I really feel that they just didn't know how to write for Wesley Crusher. They either make him insufferable or whiny, or they don't give him anything to do, or
or they give him too much to do sometimes.
Or they give him too much to do, or he's saving the ship and it drives everyone crazy. Like I don't feel they did very good job with him as a character.
Well, yeah, and like just him as like the pilot of the ship, he never really gets to feel like he is, like compared to like a Tom Paris does or somebody like that, right? So it's when he left the show the first time, like back when I'm watching this back as a kid, I was like, yeah, he should go to the academy. Bye, Wesley. But now I'm like, it's kind of too bad he wasn't part of the show for all 7 seasons. This is kind of how I feel about it now. But
and you know what? This episode, I don't usually watch TNG start to finish. Like I cherry pick episodes when I feel like watching. And this is Final Mission is never one that I pick. But I watched it again the other night, and it's a lot better than I remember. It's good. You get some good scenes with Patrick Stewart, who always tears it up in every scene, and it's a good episode. So
yes, absolutely. And also just want to plug that Narduzzi and I were just on Trek Masters on Saturday. You can check out that episode on the Trek Masters quiz channel. We did a TNG red shirts and special edition trivia head to head. It was a lot of fun.
It was really fun. I encourage everyone to go and watch it. We had a great time. The questions were really good and the format was fun. Nice hosts. Good time all around.
Yes, thanks to Davey for having us and Jim for preparing all those questions and serving as producer for the episode. It was a pleasure. Hope we get to go back again. Mm-hmm. Did everyone die? No, because they were TNG red shirts, so mostly they live.
Except that one guy whose head exploded.
Yeah, Remick. Now I know his name forever.
Yeah,
I didn't get that answer when I got
TNG should have killed more gold shirts.
Just to really establish it.
Yeah.
And because I studied before the quiz, I thought it was going to be actually a quiz about red shirts, about like TOS red shirts. And I was prepared for all these questions. And then I'm like, no, I'm not going to get it. So
I'm surprised you didn't study all about the uniforms.
I should have. I wasn't prepared.
He knew all that.
He has all that memorized already.
Yeah, he doesn't need to study for that.
Well, I could have done better. I can tell you that much. Anyway, so, but until next time, I hope I will get an invite again. Always fun to talk trivia. I think that's all our plugs tonight. So, I want to thank everyone for sitting through us talk about Firefly. You can tell we're pumped, and get ready for episode 3, everyone. So, until next time, we'll just say live long and podcast, and good night, everyone. And
thanks, everybody. Thanks, Tat. Good night.
Have a good one. Firefly.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise. Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mato Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.